end of that club should feel like it points to you, all right, until your club gets to basically position 2 or parallel to the ground or take away, whatever you want to call it. All right, so it's just going to be pure rotation from your spine, from your rib cage, just to that point. There's going to be no pushing anything else. Hey, welcome back to Danford Golf Instruction. Today we're going to take you through a simple way to basically build your golf swing. So this will be great for beginners. This is even good for intermediate or even advanced players because a lot of times we kind of get away from this skill and we start to get a little bit armsy, a little bit handsy, and our game starts to go downward. All right, so today's going to be a very simple video. This is how I build a lot of swings with my players, especially if I don't see them for a while and they start to come back and things have altered or changed. This is a great way to get them back on track. So as always, make sure you subscribe, like our videos, hit the little bell next to the little subscribe button on the YouTube channel there, and then you'll see all the updates that we have coming up. Leave us any comments that you might have or questions also. One of the most common faults when players come to me is not only their setup in general, but really how they start to move the club away in their backswing. Right? And a lot of us get away with this or start to do this without even really knowing it. Right? Basically, after high school or even college, there's not a whole lot of rotary games that we play anymore, so everything is pretty much sitting or it's just right in front of us. And we do a lot with our hands, so we tend to do less with our body. So this is a skill or a drill that's going to help you start to realize I actually have to turn this much, or I have to use my body this much to initiate my golf swing, especially if you want to be more powerful, be more connected, more consistent. All right, so from face on, we'll start off first. As you take the club back, I see a lot of players push their left arm across their chest, or they pull their right elbow behind their body. Okay, so automatically right there we have missed out on a huge power source and a very consistent source for club face control in our golf swing, is that you've got to get your body to do it. So I'll see a lot of people who start to turn their chest, but then they stop and they start pushing again. All right, and we've probably all seen the drill where somebody takes the club, you stick it right into your belly button and you start to turn. And this is kind of what this drill is very similar to. All right, but you have to make sure when you're taking that club back that it feels like your arms don't have any motion really away from your body. You might even feel like you put a club cover underneath both of your arms, something like that, just until the club gets parallel with the ground. So once you've done that, put that club cover underneath both those arms, just really practice feeling like everything stays connected. So if you look at it from down the line, the end of that club should feel like it points to you, all right, until your club gets to basically position 2 or parallel to the ground or take away, whatever you want to call it. All right, so it's just going to be pure rotation from your spine, from your rib cage, just to that point. There's going to be no pushing anything else of your hands or your arms. Everything's going to feel super connected to that point. And you can see when you do it correctly, takeaway goes right where it's supposed to. Right? That's how simple the takeaway really should be, is just if you just flat rotate and turn, your takeaway is going to be in the right spot every time, especially if your setup is good and you don't do anything weird with your hands or your arms. Just make it very simple. Okay? So if you see somebody push, right, they'll tend to get inside or they're going to do all sorts of weird stuff. So we want to see lots of chest. You can see my hips are turning. Everything's really turning to help me stay in that connected position. Right, then from there, right, if you struggle with pushing your arms across the chest, something that I did a long time ago to really help me with this, because everybody struggles with this at some point in time, is I would start the club actually in front of me, and then I would really feel like my right side and my chest would draw the club back. Right, so that really helped me get the feeling of making sure my first move wasn't my arms pushing across my body rather than my shoulders moving and the club dragging across my chest. And that was a good way to hit balls too, is I would start it above the golf ball, drag it back, and then I would hit it. So again, this is for beginners, all right, or to help you find your timing. All right, so we'll start with the beginners first. So you're just doing basically that tiny little move. You're going to build your swing up. So it's not going to be full swings. All right, you can move it pretty fast from here to here if you get good at it, and you'll find that you actually hit it close to like 65-70% of your total distance. Right, because you're doing such a good job using your big muscles and your chest to help you hit it, and then speeds up your hands and so forth. All right, so beginners, I just want you to take that club back to here, and then from here your whole goal is to feel like the chest once again. So right side on the way back, left side's going to pull. All right, it's not your arms pulling, right? It's your chest. It's going to pull, your hips will pull, and you're going to finish basically the same distance on the opposite side. Right, so you're going to get really good at just going back and forth. Yeah, it's kind of like a pitch shot or a chip shot in the beginning, except it's no hands. No hands, no arms. It's just all body rotation. Right? And so that's a great way for beginners to start to learn how to hit the golf ball. You don't have to go full bore. You don't have to take full swings. Right? If you learn how to find center contact on the golf club and how to control the face first, you're going to be better off in the long run. Now for all the, let's say, more advanced players or intermediate who are struggling with finding timing, this is a great drill to do it also, because basically your whole timing comes from right here when the club starts to come back down and hips into impact and all the way through. I've played in tournaments where that was my pre-shot routine, was just taking it to here and then just swinging through, just because my rhythm started to get off. I knew I was going to have more issues controlling the club face, my distance, and everything else. So if you start to lose your timing, especially sometime in the round, if you're listening to that, you probably know who you are. All right, so just take it to there and then just kind of really work on feeling that timing, the body move, everything moving together. All right, so that's a good little series for beginners to start where to build your swing, and for everybody else who starts to lose timing or just wants to get better at timing in their golf swing. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you around.